Hi, my name is Cindy. I'm here to let Maitland share a message with you, and I believe she wants to talk about children and what we can learn from them as adults.
Hello, it's me, it's Maitland. Maitland. It's Maitland, and I am 9 years old. So, for the ones who have already seen my first video, I was talking about meditation and about that kids are really in the present. They are playing in the now. They are so concentrated on their toys or on their friends that they are not really focusing on the surroundings because they are very much focused on what they are doing. So I want to share more things, what kids do, what adults did when they were little kids and actually forgot. And we would like to ask you to pay attention to yourself and maybe bring these back into your life. So another thing, besides that, little kids are in the now, they are really in the present. I would like to share that, kids are like running around and they are like all goofy and they are pulling faces and they are speaking or they pretend to see like a huge person or like a huge animal, and then they play with those animals, or maybe they actually see them, who knows. Or that they've got this very rich imagination, and that is what most of the adults forgot to have, or actually to they would like you to remember, because a lot of people are taking life very serious. You're not allowed to laugh. You're not allowed to play. You're not allowed to make funny faces. You're not allowed to make any jokes because it's not what it's supposed to be. Well, we would like to challenge you a little bit, and we would like to ask you to do that. Just to experience, to let you experience what you feel when you are like pulling funny faces, or when you're running around to your garden and chasing either your own dog, or you're chasing your own little kids if you have any, or you are like in a forest and you pretend to see all those beautiful animals or big animals, or describe what you see, or flowers or trees. We would like to ask you to do this. It will be a lot of fun. You forgot how to do it, so we actually want to bring you some fun back into your lives. So we've already talked about being in the present, and about being like acting very funny. And now I would like to talk about the breathing. Have you ever paid attention to a little baby, how it breathes? Did you notice how the belly goes up and down? It inhales and exhales. Now, when you notice how, like maybe if from the teenagers and older people, when you notice how you breathe yourself, you will see that you are very much on the surface. You are breathing very short, or like as in not deep enough. And when you then come into a place like a forest or even into the mountains, you get all dizzy because you're not used anymore to so much oxygen. So you're giving your bodies not enough oxygen. And in an office or like in a closed place, even when you are in a stadium, if you are, like a stadium when there are concerts and it is indoor, or you're playing soccer and it's indoor, there's not enough oxygen because you're recycling the air that has already been used. It is not fresh. So pay attention to how a little baby breathes. And try to pay attention to your own breathing. How do you breathe? Do you even stop breathing because you've got so much stress? And when you have so much stress, what will you do to get more oxygen? How would you change your breathing? Try to find some exercises. There are plenty exercises on the internet. The only method that fits to you is the one that resonates with you. You don't have to try them all. You can, but if you find something that really sticks with you and you're like, oh, that is a really good exercise for me to do, because I notice when I'm stressed, I inhale not so deep, or I even stop breathing, or I go very I make very little inhalations, and I would like to deepen those. If you can find an exercise for yourself, your body will be very happy. Because that is what taking care of yourself means, that you're taking care of your body. Now, another thing what I want to share is when I am sure that many of you can even find those little videos on the internet that you see little kids and people are trying to scare them, and they start to cry and they are so afraid, and you see them going like this, and they stop breathing. You let your little kids stop breathing for a moment. They are so frightened of what you have done to them. You think it is all funny, but you know what happens afterwards? Your kids are not breathing properly anymore. They can actually develop a breathing issue. They even might not inhale enough oxygen. And those little kids, their bodies need oxygen. So if you really want to play with kids and you really want to make them laugh, then please don't scare them. You might think it is funny, but it has a consequence to their bodies and to their brain. Now, another thing that I would like to share is something, it is also about the body, and it's also about kids. It is when they eat. So have you ever seen a baby or like a little kid, a little child of a few months old? Have you ever seen and heard them cry at 12 o'clock or at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, or at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the evening when it's dinner time? You haven't. Because you all know, or most of you know, that babies cry when they're hungry, and it can be any moment of the day. Even during the night a couple of times. Now, those little kids are listening to their bodies because they cry when they're hungry. And that is something that most of the people are not doing anymore. You're not listening to your body when it's hungry. Some of you do not even realize when you're eating. You put all that food into your stomach, but you do not realize that you have been eating, and then around dinner time or lunchtime or breakfast time, you realize that you need to have more food because it's dinner time or lunchtime. So you're not even consciously eating. Now, what I want to say about this is that kids are listening to their bodies. When it is hungry, it's hungry. When it needs to have a clean diaper, it will cry because it will need a clean diaper. Now, most of you who are going to school, so there's plenty of people actually, when you are going to school as a little child, actually already before that. Anyway, I will start with little kids who are going to school. You are training yourself to be hungry at 12 or at 1 o'clock or at 6 o'clock in the evening or 7 o'clock in the evening. You're training your system to change its biological rhythm. And you are changing this because you are asked, not even asked, you are almost being forced to fit into a schedule which is not natural. It is not natural. It is a man-made schedule. You're all supposed to have lunch at 12 or 1 o'clock. You're all supposed to have dinner at 6 o'clock or at 7 o'clock. Who says? Who says? Oh, the school says. Oh, the company says. Oh, the work says. Everybody says, but you are following blindly a schedule. Well, who says that this schedule is correct? Maybe your body wants to have lunch at 11 o'clock. Or maybe your body says it wants lunch at 2. Maybe you even skip lunch because you do not think, or at least your body doesn't give you any signals to eat. So why would you eat? So the main thing of this last message is that I want to say is that you are all following a schedule, a man-made schedule. Fit perfectly well for the financial and economical structure. It is not natural. Now we would like to ask you, just for a moment, just to sit down and pretend this. Pretend that when you are out of work, suddenly your company is not able anymore to provide you a job. Things are changing, schools are changing, other systems are changing, systems that you thought they were working very well into your favor, and they all start to collapse. What will you do then? What will you do? I'm sure that a lot of people will say, I don't know what I will do. Or even some of you will say like, oh, that is not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Or you're getting like afraid, or you're getting anxious. What if one day your job will not be there anymore? Do you really think that you have been born and put on this world to go to school and work and then you die? Do you really think that that is why you are here? You all have been fooled. It's time for you to break free. To do whatever you would like to do, because that is why you are here. You are here to follow your heart, not what other people are telling you what you should do. That is why many of you are confused. One says this, one says that, one says, oh, you have to look like that. The other one says like, you have to get a haircut. The other one says like, oh no, your blue shoes are not in the fashion anymore. It's now red, so you need to change your shoes. Who says? The only person who says what you should do is yourself. Why would you blindly follow one person? Why would you blindly follow a system when you do not even understand where the system leads you to? So these are like questions that I would like you to, just to ask yourself. Just take your time. Even have a conversation with it with your friends. Ask each other, what would you do? And then Pay attention to your reaction, how you feel. Does it scare you or not? Because if we have scared you with the question, what will you do when the job is not there anymore? Or what if the systems are going to collapse? When it scares you, or when you panic or anything like this, it is time to get some guidance. So when you need everybody needs guidance, people. Everybody needs guidance. You're not the only one. It's very hard for the ego, yes, to admit, oh no, I need to do it myself. No. Sometimes you're stuck and you need a helping hand to get you back on track. So I want to end this video with offering my service. And you can reach out to me, Maitland, or you can talk to Marilyn, or you can talk to the amazing team, Carla, because we are all here to guide you. We are all here to bring you back on track, even though when you think you're on track, you're not on track. So think about it. Think about those questions. And then you can reach out to Cindy, and then you can make an appointment, and then you can agree with whom you want to talk to. And her website is www.channelingcarla.com, and you write Carla with Carla. Okay, thank you for listening. Bye.